illegal. That is an extraordinary intrusion on the executive branch.
Keeping the dream alive, California takes the fight to save DACA to court. Fed up with sewage spills, the players in a new legal fight over cross-border pollution in San Diego.
We oversee the operation of the colleges in terms of their academic mission.
Up for grabs in next month's primary. 6 community college district seats, the changes they can make with higher education. KPBS Evening Edition starts right now. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Ebony Monet. An important day in court for so-called dreamers. Lawyers for the state of California and the Trump administration argue before the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals on whether President Trump has legal authority to end the DACA program. Today's hearing was a federal challenge to an earlier district court ruling in San Francisco that allowed DACA to continue nationwide. Since then, people who were brought to the U.S. without documentation as children have been allowed to renew their legal protections.
Because these DACA recipients, Your Honor, they're not high-priority individuals. They weren't doing anything that would indicate that they should somehow go to the top of the list. And four, Your Honor, because these individuals from these countries are being treated as bargaining chips for other policies. That's not going to happen with Norwegians. That's not going to happen with Western Europeans.
Why does the government need this case, putting travel bans aside, why does the government need this case decided so quickly when it has said that there are such important equities on the other side? Why all of a sudden now do we have to decide this case?
Your Honor, we are being forced to maintain a policy that gives affirmative sanction to 700,000 illegal aliens in a policy that we think is illegal. That is an extraordinary intrusion on the executive branch.
The Supreme Court declined to take up the DACA case, saying it should first be decided by lower courts. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has not announced when a ruling on today's hearing will be made. The California law that allowed terminally ill patients to take life-ending drugs has been overturned. A Riverside County judge ruled today that the law was unconstitutionally enacted. He gave the state attorney 5 days to file an appeal in order to keep the law in place. The key sticking point was when the act was passed. The judge says lawmakers violated the law by passing the measure during a special session. Attorney General Xavier Becerra is also joining a legal fight at the San Diego border. KPBS environment reporter Eric Anderson says they're focusing on the cross-border sewage flow in the Tijuana River Valley.
The San Diego Regional Water Quality Control Board, the state's attorney general, and a prominent environmental group are poised to sue a federal agency over cross-border sewage flows. They say the International Boundary and Water Commission, the agency in charge of cross-border pollution, isn't doing enough to fix the problem. Surfriders Gabriela Torres says federal officials should be getting the message that this needs attention.
The fact that there's possibly 3 lawsuits and different stakeholders involved now and agencies and interested parties portrays how important this issue is to so many of us.
The head of the federal agency being targeted by the lawsuits stepped down late last week. Critics have been calling for Ed Dresina's dismissal for more than a year. IBWC officials are not commenting on the litigation. Eric Anderson, KPBS News.
State and local leaders are divided on a proposal to tax water use. The Senate bill calls for imposing a fee on clean water. The money would help communities pay for water treatment projects. Under the proposal, consumers would see their water bills rise by about 95 cents a month. The measure was attached to Governor Brown's revised budget released last Friday.
A water tax. That's kind of a big deal, I think. I think the citizens of California should know it way in advance. And it shouldn't be slipped into a trailer bill, which are very easy to pass. Lawmakers are expected to take up the clean water tax mid-June.
A former court building in downtown San Diego will be redeveloped as affordable housing. The County Board of Supervisors took the first steps today. Members voted to spend more than $2 million for demolition of the old family court building on 6th Avenue. New housing will be built in its place, with half of the units designated as affordable. Units will also be reserved for special needs and vulnerable populations. 6 community college trustee seats are up for grabs across San Diego County this election. So what do they do, and why should you care? KPBS education reporter Megan Burks asked 2 outgoing board members.
What do I do as a board member?
Peter Zishi is retiring from the San Diego Community College District Board after serving for 16 years.
We oversee collective bargaining. We oversee the building of all these buildings and the bonds. We oversee the operation of the colleges in terms of their academic mission, the students they serve, the results we have.
Much like the San Diego Unified Board, they oversee work on school campuses, only theirs are community colleges. Zishi says voters should care because City, Mesa, and Miramar colleges play a major role in staffing San Diego industries.
We have 4 major campuses, but we have 10 altogether.
Also a 16-year board veteran, Rich Grosh, says trustees sometimes play developer. The district has transformed downtown's eastern edge and recently negotiated with Barrio Logan residents to open a facility in the historic neighborhood.
We completely rebuilt the district. We're going to have over 50 buildings, all multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art buildings. But what's really phenomenal about the whole situation is they're all sustainable.
For a look at the candidates and those running for the Community College District in East County, go to kpbs.org. Megan Burks, KPBS News.
Candidates right now are pushing hard in get-out-to-vote efforts, asking San Diegans to make it to the polls for the June 5th primary elections. But KPBS reporter Claire Tragesser says many of those candidates didn't actually vote themselves in past elections. She spoke about candidate voting records with KPBS reporter Jade Hyman.
All right, Claire, so what did you find out about the candidates running for county office?
So there are 3 major races in the county: the supervisor seat in District 4, the district attorney, and then the sheriff. And so I did background searches for each of the candidates to find out about their voting histories, if they've missed any elections, when they registered to vote, things like that.
Some information there. All right,
yes.
To start, now you did the background check, so I have to ask, with the San Diego County supervisors, tell us what you found there.
So this is for Ron Roberts' seat, who is termed out, and it covers most of the city of San Diego, and it's one of the most competitive local elections this year. And so of those candidates, Omar Passons missed the most with 4 elections. He didn't vote in the special mayoral election, where Donna Fry ran a write-in campaign against Jerry Sanders, and he also didn't vote in some midterm elections in 2006 and 2010. And when KPBS reached out to the campaign for a response about the missed elections, Passons sent a statement explaining himself, which says in part that, quote, "I should have voted and didn't. I am not one for excuses." He says since he missed those elections, he's seen the importance of elected leadership. And then among the other contenders, Kenneth Malborough missed 1 election, and Nathan Fletcher and Lori Saldana missed none. And then the other thing is that former District Attorney Bonnie DeManis, who is running in that race, she's registered as a confidential voter, which means that she got a court ruling saying that it would actually put her in some kind of jeopardy to have her information out there, and that's typically done for people who work in law enforcement. So we don't know if she missed any elections. We don't have any information about her voter history.
Okay, so then tell us about the candidates who are running to take the seat of Bonnie DeManis as district attorney.
Well, one of them is Summer Steffen, and she's the interim district attorney, and she also has that same confidential voter deal, so we don't know about her voting history or what elections she missed. The other, Genevieve Jones-Wright, missed 16 elections. That's one of the highest number for any candidate in any local race. She missed 3 presidential primaries and also didn't vote in the special mayoral election when Kevin Faulconer beat David Alvarez. and didn't vote in the special election for the 4th Council District. And so I checked in with her campaign, and a spokeswoman said some of those results are actually wrong. She contested some of them. She says that she did vote in a couple of the elections that we had found that she missed. And so I checked with the Registrar of Voters, and they said that sometimes there can be a mistake where someone would maybe sign in on the wrong line when they're showing up to vote at the polls, or they take out a mail-in ballot and then end up voting in person, but they can go back and look through all of that history, and they found that there is no evidence that Jones Wright voted in those elections that we found that she missed. And Jones Wright's campaign then also sent a statement that says voting is the best way to impact our democracy. It goes on, quote, "What does it say about the democratic process when even highly educated community leaders find our elections inaccessible?"
Well, okay, and now what about the sheriff's race?
So the incumbent Bill Gore missed 2 special elections in 1999 and 2009. His opponent Dave Myers missed 4 elections, including the 2004 presidential race between George W. Bush and John Kerry. And after we reached out to his campaign, he sent a statement explaining himself that says he was working long hours as a sheriff's sergeant in 2004, but he, quote, "doesn't recall a specific reason why I didn't vote."
All right, seems like everyone's got their reasons for not having voted. Where can we find more information about this?
So we are posting all of this, all the elections people missed, and a statement if they sent them online for city races, county races, and congressional races. And you can find all of that at kpbs.org/missed.
All right, Claire, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We've been talking to candidates as we get closer to the June primary, and today we have an interview with Shamus Sayed. He's a Republican running for the 50th Congressional District, the seat currently held by Duncan Hunter Jr. KPBS reporter Jade Hindman spoke to the small business owner about health care and support for President Trump.
And I support the president. I support the president 100%, though I don't agree with him 100%. I think our goal. We're a government of over 400 people in the House. So with that, it's our job to provide different perspectives and different vantage points to achieve the same objectives.
So it seems like it's been difficult to achieve any objective here lately in Congress. There's a lot of gridlock, it seems. So why Congress? Why do you think you could be effective there?
Well, my job is to represent. I'm hoping to earn the job of representing the district, and being in Congress allows that platform to do so. The current individual feels a bit out of touch with the district, so this gives me an opportunity to effectively represent the district, their wants and their dislikes. The first and my number one objective is to go to work for the district. You know, when you hear stories that you hear from many people of having to, as a small business owner, I hear many of these stories more often than I would like, whether it's this month I had to make the choice of paying health care for my mom or paying rent. So the vantage points that I have are very different, and that's why I feel it would be effective to represent.
Congress hasn't yet passed a replacement for DACA. Now, would you support a bill that provided a path to citizenship for people brought to the United States illegally as children?
Absolutely. We don't want to send these children home. They were here, they were brought here. They didn't have a choice. They really didn't. I'm a son of immigrants, and I know what my family went through and my father went through. And here we are. When you look at what they're trying to do, what these children are trying to do, and it's hard for me not to look at them as children, but they're young adults with some amazing minds that can make such an amazing impact right here in San Diego. My number one platform and passion is small business, and when you look at the demographic that's responsible for starting the most small businesses than any other group are Hispanics. They start more businesses, and they're some of the most amazing entrepreneurs, more so than any other demographic here. So why wouldn't we? And look at what those minds are able to do.
You know, Republicans in Congress last year mounted a big campaign to repeal the Affordable Care Act. Would you join in efforts to repeal Obamacare? And would you be open to fixing the Affordable Care Act?
The Affordable Care Act was a wonderful stab at fixing a bigger challenge, of course, providing affordable health care. I respect what it is. Absolutely. It was the first stab taken at it. Now, does it need work? Absolutely. Will I repeal it? And full disclosure, yes. I do feel that the reason why I would appeal it is from a small business perspective. It really took away that, it put a tremendous amount of regulation on as a small business owner. And it took away our ability to provide for our staff, for my employees. And I share this view with many other small business owners. The exchange, because of the penalties associated with the exchange, on one side, but then you have a genuine want to provide affordable health care, they didn't go hand in hand. And so with the regulations that were put on us to do so, and many other small businesses, that's the number one reason why I would want to repeal it. Now, there's so many other solutions that are out there. Let's open up the state lines to get plans from outside of the state. By simply doing so, we have more options are available to us at a much lower cost.
That was Jade Hindman talking to congressional candidate Shamus Sayed. As we count down to the June primary, KPBS News will continue to reach out to candidates. You can see more of our election coverage at kpbs.org/election. Officials on the Big Island of Hawaii are warning people about toxic gas from the volcano. They say some cracks in the earth are releasing dangerous levels of sulfur dioxide. The eruption snapped open nearly 20 vents in the ground. At least 2,000 people are under evacuation orders. Lava destroyed more than 40 structures, including 24 homes. A few clouds are rolling in at night, but sunny days, plus a dry weather pattern continues around the county. Erin Calandra has tonight's forecast.
We had another beautiful day today here in San Diego County. A couple of clouds along the coast early in the morning and then breaking up for some very nice sunshine. That's the pattern we're going to be under all week long. Taking a look at the radar and satellite, there is nothing going on. It is dry as a bone here in the southwest. To the north of us, we are seeing some spotty showers. There's a low pressure system. You can actually see the rotation here moving counterclockwise. So some places in Nevada, they are getting a couple of showers. That is not going to push to the south, so we are going to remain in our dry pattern. We could use the rain. We are in a drought, but nope, not heading in this direction. So 59 degrees for the temperature tonight. Those clouds, they'll be building throughout the night, and again during the daytime, they're going to disappear. So along the coast and Oceanside tonight, 53 degrees for the low. Chula Vista at 58, Ramona 46, and also in Mount Laguna and Borrego Springs at 62 degrees, nice and clear through the deserts. Tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, especially in the interior areas from Borrego Springs to Mount Laguna. 93 in Borrego Springs, Ramona at 73, and very nice along the coast. San Diego coming in at 67 degrees. That is right around average. We might be a degree or two below average, which is kind of a big deal when your temperatures don't really change that much. But all in all, things are looking pretty nice. Now, here's the pattern across the country. Yikes, what is going on? It looks pretty messy. We have a lot of rain here in the southeast because of this moist air that is just shooting up, tropical air. So we're seeing lots of downpours, even flooding conditions on the East Coast. For us, though, well, we are just in this pattern. With the jet stream dipping, that means it is going to be a little bit cooler in spots. So in the coast, Wednesday, 69 degrees, and then the next several days, that's around where we stay. By Sunday, it will be a little bit warmer at 71 degrees. And in the interior areas, a little bit warmer in the 60s on Thursday, but then in the 70s throughout the rest of the week. In the mountains, we're in the 60s. Nice and cool, perhaps a breeze on Thursday. And in the deserts, it is scorching hot, mostly in the 90s and sunny. For KPBS News, I'm Erin Calandra. Ebony, back to you.
I'm Judy Woodruff. Tonight on the NewsHour, protests turned to funerals in Gaza after one of the deadliest clashes between Israel and Palestinians in years. Coming up at 7, right after Evening Edition on KPBS.
Community groups want Governor Brown to invest in kids beyond the classroom. They rallied at the Capitol today demanding more money for after-school programs. Lawmakers say the benefits after-school programs offer kids and families cannot be ignored.
if kids are in after-school programs instead of on the streets, well, we know they learn better, they have higher results, and also long-term, they have a higher probability of going to college.
Lawmakers say they have a good chance to secure funding with the state currently sitting on a budget surplus. A new lift program has Marines switching gears on Camp Pendleton. It's called Base Mode. It allows selected lift drivers access to the base and offers rides to thousands of Marines and their families. Lyft says a portion of the money could help support the community. It also is an opportunity for military families to make money driving for Lyft. Similar programs are currently being offered at other bases. Starting this weekend, you'll have to dial an extra number to make some local phone calls. KPBS reporter Matt Hoffman explains how it all works.
619 area code phone numbers are running out in San Diego. In response, the California Public Utilities Commission last year announced it would remove the boundary between 619 and 858 area codes. Basically, that means more 858 numbers will start to be given out across San Diego. For wireless phones and cell phones, it means starting Saturday, you'll need to dial the area code for local calls. For landlines, it means you'll need to add 4 extra digits or get a message that sounds like this.
It is now necessary to dial 11 digits when dialing this number. Please hang up and dial 1 plus the area code, followed by the number.
Now, this change only applies to local numbers with 619 and 858 area codes. The CPUC says automatic dialers, including alarm systems and life safety systems, including fax machines, may need to be reprogrammed. Matt Hoffman, KPBS News.
Every time you swipe a credit card, you're at risk for ID theft. Now, the nation's largest police force is testing a new invention that can detect skimmers and other devices. AP reporter Josh Rapogel has the story.
Take a look and I'll pull on it, or, Greg Papernick is on the lookout for skimmers stealing his credit card information. I'll hide with my hand.
Usually it's a piece out here.
Carmen Juarez, same story. She's had her card info stolen before.
So many times.
Skimmers like these are camouflaged, waiting to take your numbers and pass them on to criminals.
Well, it's a hassle. It can take a year or so to fix those kind of issues.
And it's so easy for them. You never know where.
According to the data analytics company FICO, in 2017, the number of compromised ATMs and other credit terminals rose by 21% from the same period the year before.
So what I'm going to do is I'll walk up to the ATM.
But with a simple swipe, the New York Police Department is fighting back, putting a prototype device to the test.
It's definitely an assist we could use to combating ATM skimming.
It's called the Skim Reaper.
At any given time, only one read head should be present in a card slot. And so what the Skim Reaper does is it finds when more than one are present.
Invented here by a college professor and group of graduate students in this lab at the University of Florida in Gainesville.
We went with this design right here.
It's garnered the attention of the largest police force in the United States.
It is still a multi-billion-dollar problem.
The Secret Service calculates skimming theft costs over $1 billion annually in the U.S. alone. And financial crime experts say if the new detection technology holds true, it could be groundbreaking.
To recognize if a skimmer is there, this could be a revolutionary watershed moment.
I'm going to dip the reader in.
Detectives say they're conducting further field tests before considering a mass purchase, but so far they're impressed, pointing out untrained officers can use the device.
I have 4 detectives who do the ATM skimming full time. When I could take someone who's untrained or has some more free time to go out and do these inspections, it's certainly a help.
While those at the pumps may still feel they are taking their chances,
I don't need anyone stealing from me. We live in a scary world right now.
Protection might be one swipe away. Josh Rapogel, The Associated Press, Gainesville, Florida.
It's that time of year again when many San Diegans will leave their cars parked and opt for 2 wheels instead. Thursday is annual Bike to Work Day. It's part of a national movement to promote good health and a cleaner environment. There will be 100 pit stops from 6 to 9 a.m. Riders can enjoy giveaways, snacks, and encouragement. City officials have a few tips for drivers and novice cyclists.
It's good for drivers of cars to remember that they own the car but not the road.
So being safe, giving a safe distance to bikers, especially if there might be some newer bikers on the road. Having a little patience. The road is for walkers and bikers and cars. And just enjoy it, give yourself a few extra minutes and enjoy seeing people out and about, enjoying San Diego.
For information about Bike to Work Day, including a map of the pit stops, go to icommute.sd.org. Now, here's a look at what we are working on for tomorrow in the KPBS newsroom. This week, KPBS is looking at the personal voting history of local candidates. On Wednesday, we'll see how often members of Congress are voting in local elections. And on Midday Edition, the latest numbers from San Diego's homeless count will be released this week. We'll check on the progress being made to help those in need of shelter. You can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.